For years, the local United Way has been working hard to help our community. Learn how you can make a difference on this morning's Carolina People.
Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning with the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the 2005-2006 campaign for the United Way of Horry County. And we're visiting with the campaign chair, Lynn Carmon. Good morning,
Good
Lynn.
morning. Thank you for having me back.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Nice
and we're
to
getting
see
so
you.
close to the kickoff of the
We
campaign.
are very excited.
You're
Right
getting
around the
juiced.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, juiced is the right word.
I bet. I know, early 7 a.m. And of course, you were with us last, I guess, mid-October, after the campaign already kicked off as the chair-elect.
Chair-elect.
Excited about that. Who was the chair last year, and how'd y'all do?
Susan Means.
Right.
We exceeded our goal.
Y'all exceeded the
We
goal?
did.
Last
We did.
year's goal was?
A little over $1.4 million.
Wow.
So this year it's $1,440,000.
You are kidding.
No, we'll make it.
I'm sure
We'll make
you
it.
will, Lynn. You've got to feel good.
Yeah, I do.
Now, does anything trickle in over the summertime, or does every dollar begin when the campaign actually kicks off?
We actually have some of the employee drives and some of our corporate campaign has already started a little bit towards the end of August. And some of those funds are coming in. Some of our board of directors and some of those givers have started already. So we've got a little bit of money already. So
Good.
That's a good start.
Yes.
Good
yes.
start.
Real quick about yourself, Lynn, for viewers who may not have caught you last year when you were with us, were you originally from the area?
Both my parents were born and raised in Conway. I was born after my father joined the military, so I was born on the road.
Right.
So.
I think I saw you wrapped up high school in Virginia Beach.
In Virginia Beach, yes.
And then came down here not long after that.
In 1975, long time ago.
Is that right? Wow.
Seen a lot of things happen since 1975.
Do you still have family here in the area?
I do. Both my parents live in Little River, and I have a lot of family over in Conway and Loris, and all my family lives in Horry County. So
That's great. Wow. I think I saw you've been in banking, and I hate to date it.
That's okay. That's
That,
okay.
but almost 3 decades.
yes,
now.
I have started very early in the late 70s, we'll say,
Right.
and have been with several banks, and now with Carolina First Bank and in Myrtle Beach, and love helping the community and dealing with people on a daily basis. So
And that seems like a big mantra of Carolina First, helping
it
the
is
community and giving back.
absolutely, and I have to thank them for being behind me 100% this year, because this has taken up quite a bit of time, as you can imagine, trying to get something off like this. So, but I'm really proud to be associated with Carolina First.
Carolina First has a huge presence in Horry, Georgetown, throughout our viewing area.
We sure do, and just giving back to the community is a big priority for us. So we're real happy to be a part of that.
Am I correct? You're up at the Carolina Forest branch?
Yes, we just opened. We're going into our 4th week.
Great.
And things are looking really nice out there. That's an amazing spurt in growth out there. It's just awesome what's going on out at Carolina Forest. So we're real excited to be out there too.
I think I saw you've gotten active recently with a Carolina Forest Business Association or Business Owners Association.
Carolina Forest Business Leaders is a group of people. We're a little over a year old, just trying to make a network connection and support the community. We actually had a Forest Fever last year where we raised over $6,000 for the community center out there.
Right.
So
You're starting to see that tick out there
Yes,
as well. That's
yes,
wonderful.
it
It's good
is.
to see those dominoes coming into effect. And of course, much of what you all do at the United Way is a real domino effect.
really
a lot
is.
of different folks involved.
it really is. I mean, just the number of volunteers that we use during the year, from the office staff to during our campaign, and it's just amazing the number of people. Over 500 people volunteer through United Way of Horry County
Wow.
over the year. So
That's fantastic.
that's a big group.
That's over each campaign year.
It is.
Then the campaign, of course, this year's campaign kicks off, I believe, next Friday.
September the 9th.
Okay.
And at 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll get all of our volunteers started with a breakfast. And our motivational speaker that morning is going to be Coach Gilmore from Coastal Carolina, who just was announced Coach of the Year.
Is that right?
He did. He's got that prestigious award, and he's going to motivate us and get us started off that morning. So
That's fantastic. Friday, September 9th.
yep, it's a big day.
And now, is that just the just the folks involved in the the big active folks on the board of the campaign, or is it all the volunteers? That 500 plus folks will be out there.
We'll probably have over 200.
Right.
We'll start that morning with a breakfast and a speaker, like I said, and then we'll prepare to go off to our big makeover, community makeover project, which is at the Horry County Shelter Home. So, and we'll have volunteers working there all day, and we invite the local community to come out and help us, and we're going to do a major renovations to both of the homes for the boys and the girls at the shelter home.
Great, good. Lynn, if a viewer did want to find out more about that or needed to get off now to school or out to work, what's the best number for someone to call?
The best phone number to reach us at our office in Conway is 347-5195, and that's for United Way. And any one of the ladies there will be more than happy to tell you how you can come out and help us paint and wallpaper and plant flowers. And
good, yeah. So
so
you
it's
said any one of the ladies out there.
Yeah.
So no one in particular to ask for. There'll be a number. Anyone who'd be answering it must be a lady.
That's
yeah.
We have all ladies out there, but any of the ladies that answer the phone will be more than happy to tell you how to get out there to us that day, or
good.
make a contribution if you can't be with us that day.
347-5195.
Right.
That's 843-347-5195. That's great. Of course, folks can come out to the Horry County Shelter Home. Y'all kicked it off. Y'all did that Day of Caring last year. Was it also at the Horry County Shelter Home?
No, we did the Cedar Branch Children's Home
That's
last
right.
year,
Yes,
and just an awesome day, over 200 people, long day, but did just some amazing things out there. We built the children a music room and painted, and just when the kids came home, when they came back to the facility after school, the kids' faces just lit up because they just couldn't believe what all can be done in a day. But with 200 people, you can make a big impact on a facility. So we're real excited to be out at the Horry County Shelter Home, because some of the things we're going to be doing, we're going to build a shelter, a covered bus stop for the kids while they're waiting for the school bus in the morning, and other painting and replacing windows and doors and just all kinds of things, major landscaping. So we're real excited about what we're going to do out there.
Some of the potential volunteer activities that if someone called that they could do, there's a plethora, all that.
Oh, everything. We could use people who could help serve lunch, or paint, or dig, plant a plant, come help hang wallpaper.
Right, sure.
We're just going to be doing a lot of things out there. So anybody that would love to come out there could
Viewers
just
of all
stop by.
abilities
Oh,
could be
absolutely,
used that day, just to
absolutely.
see the spirit of the United Way in action.
Yeah, and if you don't want to come and paint or wallpaper or anything, if you want to bring by some supplies, any paint brushes, rakes, brooms, anything that we could use, during the day to help, that would be, that's awesome too. So.
And of course, with the campaign normally, obviously the real source of everything raised are dollars, but that's an instance where folks can actually donate product, could donate something of value to
Absolutely. And the impact on, looking at the facility before and after is just the big reward. It's awesome.
When did the United Way of Horry County kick off, Lynn? What was its original goal, or what was missing in the community that got the group to form it?
In 1973, a group of concerned citizens got together and saw how some of the local agencies were kind of overlapping and trying to raise funds, and just decided that just an organized effort needed to be done to kind of collectively get all that together and help out as many partners in the community as we could.
Sure. Now, at this point, you wouldn't have many agencies that would overlap that you all support.
No, that's true. We don't duplicate services. These agencies are, 36 partners in Horry County that cover all kinds of needs for the community.
When you think about groups, and obviously folks who approach you all about getting support, the key thing is, when someone says the United Way, it is a vehicle. Its primary definition would be, for folks who aren't familiar with the United Way, you probably still see employers who've never been active in the United Way, probably finding folks on a regular basis, may not even understand exactly the mission. It's kind of like hearing the words Chamber of Commerce. I wonder, what's the Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah. We support 36 local partners is what we have now, and we support those groups in several different areas with successful youth and children, in families, and trying to support self-sufficiency. Over 26,000 residents were assisted last year, and those funds that are collected are distributed amongst the partners based on what those specific needs are for that agency. So, and they go through, they can apply, these partners can apply through our United Way, and we go through a very rigid process of looking to make sure those monies that are collected from the local community is used in the most effective way, in the most efficient way that it can be used.
You'll also have an allocations committee, that helps decide how the funds are to be split up that you all raise each year?
We do, and those, our total board, everybody that is involved in this allocation process are local people from all walks of life. And the allocations committee will sit down and presentations will be made where you review actual budgets and reports to determine, what can be funded and to make sure those funds that are allocated out are used in the best way. That's a great process too. If anybody would like to participate in that allocation process, it helps you to better understand what all these agencies go through in our partnership to raise those funds that are so desperately needed for everybody in the county.
So, Lynn, there are opportunities for viewers outside of volunteering for the Day of Caring. There are opportunities within service on the board or service otherwise. That same phone number is the best number to call?
That's the best number to get us.
Okay, the 347-5195. And of course, when you think about it, as we say, there's phrases like the Chamber of Commerce, United Way. If a viewer worked for a company or had involvement or knew of a company that may not be involved with the United Way, I guess just calling the office is a great way to learn more. It
is, and also with the kickoff on September the 9th, our general campaign will start where we'll go calling on local businesses to look at a possible corporate contribution, as well as asking if we could speak to their employees and do employee drives and do things like that. So if we miss you in our normal drive, if you'll just call the office, we can certainly come out and make a presentation for the employees and to the company to help raise awareness.
Have you done those before, Lynn?
I have, and they're so great. I've been to several, and taking one of our partners with us to try to get down to the bottom line. What is the root cause? How can we help apply those funds to that root cause and change people's lives and help strengthen the community? So having an actual partner that comes out there with you that kind of brings it home. And because a lot of people don't realize, a lot of us are just, could possibly be just a few steps away from needing a United Way partner, and that's what I've always done in my contribution is give as if one day I may need one of these partners.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So you or one of the other campaign volunteers would go with one of those 36 member agencies, one of the representatives of one of those agencies, to meet with employers and their employee base.
Absolutely.
To actually drive home the point. Joe, go ahead. Obviously, folks can get a list of the 36 agencies that are served each year. You all provide those. Do you all have those online as well?
We do, and we're in the process of updating that website, but those agencies can be found, and if anybody's got a question, again, they can call us.
Call the number.
Yeah, we'd be glad to mail any material out or just do whatever we can to help raise the awareness of those who don't quite understand there's 36 and even more, partners out there that do need us on a daily basis. So.
Absolutely. It is amazing to see how those funds are reinvested. If someone was to give $10 today or $100 today or even capable of doing more, I think you all break down how much of that goes to general overhead costs and how much will be actually invested or reinvested back into Overy County.
We are very proud of the fact that out of every dollar raised, it's all locally funded here. All that dollar spent right here in this county, 86.5 cents goes to local partners, and 13.5 cents goes to our overhead, campaign materials and running the office and things like that. So that's a
very lean.
Yes, it is very, and we're very proud of that.
You should be, absolutely, and I'm sure that has gotten leaner and leaner year after year.
It does.
Continue to run even more straight to the basics campaigns.
Yep, that's what it's all about. You got to give it back.
the campaign kicks off next Friday, September 9th. Obviously out there, you said it. Is that at Coastal Federal Field?
Coastal Federal Field with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans.
Oh,
we'll
great,
have
good.
the Pelicans out there and all kinds of exciting things going on. And like I said, Coach Gilmore is going to get everybody ready to get out and roll up their sleeves and do some work that day. So
At the Day of Caring.
At the Day of
County
Caring.
Shelter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. Golly, Lynn, how exciting. You know,
I
when
know.
you think about every year, of course, last year I think you all were somewhere else, maybe at Coastal Carolina or otherwise, so as the kickoff, or at least a couple years back,
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And even further back, you all kicked off not long after 9/11 or something around that time. It was very tough.
That
Louis
was
Ferguson, I remember hearing him talk about
That was a
the
tough day.
difficulty of that campaign.
But you know, our partners all of our volunteers, even though they were kind of glued to the TV and to the media trying to figure out what was going on and how was it going to affect all of us, just stayed the course and did what we had to do that day. So I'm real proud of our volunteers. They're just some awfully good people.
It's wonderful. If someone was to give $1 today, when will those dollars be reinvested back into the community?
We will use those funds in next year, 2006.
Okay, calendar year 2006. That's great. You know, when you go out there and help make those presentations, or you're with that member agency, and as you say, you're pursuing it with hopes that the employees or other folks that are hearing the talk will be thinking that they're just a couple of steps away from actually needing the services of maybe not that member agency, but one of the 36. Can you think about instances where it seemed like the message was really getting across to somebody in the audience or to part of the group or the entire group?
I was really surprised one day. I mean, I had heard stories, but not one that was so close. One of our board of directors, his family's house burned. So, naturally the American Red Cross was right there. We have several of our volunteers whose families have needed some of these partners over the years. I've been on some of the partners and actually watched what some of these agencies do as far as providing services to local people, moms who's never they've never had their kids speak, or their autistic child just responds to some kind of service that was provided by an agency. So I've seen it from watching families be impacted to having some of my friends impacted and needing a partner. So it's not, and we shouldn't just take it all for granted. I mean, it's there, the need is there, and we do what we can to supply.
And I know normally you wait for folks to actually get the written literature. There is that one you mentioned, the Horry County Shelter Home. Since y'all are highlighting them for the Day of Caring, what are some of the things the Horry County Shelter Home does locally?
They provide emergency residential service to local Horry County children who've been abandoned, neglected, or abused. And that shelter home is providing service 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they actually have two different homes. They have one for the boys and one for the girls. And that facility does some great work for children that, a lot of us take for granted, that we're just not close to that situation and don't understand that those are some basic safety nets out there that we just have to have. So.
Lynn, how critical. Again, not to highlight any one in particular, but since that's the location for the Day of Caring, that'll be next Friday, September 9th. Again, viewers can call to donate time or services or anything else.
Anything, we'd love to have everybody come by.
Yeah, would it be okay if folks just came out to watch?
Absolutely.
Yeah, to see folks in action if they're not mobile or otherwise.
That's right. I mean, you can actually see that our actions speak louder than words, that it's more than money. It's, a lot matters, and it all revolves around providing back to the community.
Great. And you all teamed up with WPDE, kind of an extreme makeover out there.
Extreme makeover, yeah.
That's great to highlight those folks, and I hope you'll have all the press out there. It's tough when you team up with one TV station because then others may not want to get out there, but since it's for such a great cause, hopefully you'll have everyone out there in the right way. You talked a little earlier about some impact areas, 4 target areas that you all highlight on a regular basis. Can you break down those 4 areas for viewers and exactly how you all decided to break down 4 particular areas?
Sure. The 4 impact areas that we're looking at is successful youth and children, providing for strong, safe, and healthy families, we promote self-sufficiency and also that basic needs safety net. And we meet with these partners to determine, there are actual head count. If you want to get that technical about, what services are provided, but making sure that people have those basic needs and making sure that, families matter and that we're making sure that the basic needs are met and independence and families, strong families. That's what it's all about.
Yes, Lynn. Golly, when you think about that, actually breaking down those target areas, that enables, and again, if someone was to call the office, the 347-5195 number, when they get that list of the 36 agencies that you all support, they'll see them essentially broken down in those 4 impact or target areas.
And we actually have gone a little bit further even in some of our councils. We've got some councils that we've set up to actually get even further down to the bottom of the cause and find out, certain partners will have needs when certain things happen and they're temporary issues, but our impact councils we're going to get down to the bottom of it and see what can be done at the very root of the matter and see what we can do to help change those lives and help impact the community as a whole.
Now, when a viewer sees that list, is there a way, and there may not be a way, for someone to target their dollars to one of those 4 target impact areas?
They could if they wished.
Okay.
They could.
Okay. Also, I guess a lot of folks probably wonder, can I just make a donation through you all to get to a particular agency if they're not sure how to? They know they've got a particular interest they're interested in.
Absolutely. We will allow a designation to a specific partner if they'd like.
That's great. You talked about the allocation committee and how you'll break down. It is so critical for every dollar. And of course, these 36 agencies, when you're getting $1.44 million raised locally and then reinvested in those 36 to go through, you stressed, a very rigorous process to make sure every dollar is allocated properly.
It is, and it's hard to come away from some of those presentations without wanting to get your personal checkbook out again and try to meet all those needs, because there's a lot out there that needs to be done.
The agencies meet with you all during the summer or during the calendar year do they have to come in and make presentations as well?
They do. They'll make a presentation in the spring. We set that up for a period of about 5 or 6 weeks, and we go through that, and then we get back with our board and our finance committee and allocations committee and make those decisions on who can be supported and by how much money.
Right. Wow. That's amazing.
Yep.
We just got a couple of minutes. You think back, I think I saw it was 20 plus years you've been involved with the United Way of Horry County. As you think over the 20 years, is anything, you talked about some of the memories of the instances of seeing that work, a co-worker impacted by the Red Cross. Can you think of other instances that have continued to make you as active as you've been?
Sitting on those allocation committees and going through that process and understanding what these partners are faced with every day in a community of Horry County that's growing every day, just being able to know that what I'm contributing, as an individual and as my company contributes to these partners, that we know that these monies are well spent. I started off, 20 plus years just by giving through my employee drive at the bank that I was currently with, to come through this and see this full circle and know that when I sign my employee pledge card, and this is my fair share, now I know, going full circle, it's well taken care of.
We think back then, 20 years ago, you must have been with South Carolina National. Of course, I mentioned Orby Ferguson, who 4 years ago was the general chair, the campaign chair, when it kicked off. There have been bankers in the community across the board, whether South Carolina National or now Carolina First, thoroughly supporting the United Way of Horry County.
Absolutely. All the local governments, the local schools, the list of donors that, step up to the plate. Either through the corporate, through the employee, or their personal pledge, it just warms your heart, and that's why I'm getting so excited for our kickoff.
You've got to be next Friday, September 9th. Okay. And the last thing, if you had a chance to get involved, are there hours or times or other things that they could do to help out in the office, or is it primarily just getting the word out?
Getting the word out. You can help us in the office. We've got plenty of filing or letter writing or any kind of thank you cards, any type. If you could do an hour a day, an hour a week, if you'll stop by the office or give us a call, we'd love to have you be a part of United Way.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lynn. Good
Thank
having you here this morning.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Good luck next Friday.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Lynn Carmon coming up next.
How do you get to $1,440,000? You can be a part of that. You can make a difference in this year's United Way campaign. The United Way of Horry County is out there every day supporting these 36 member agencies. You can make a difference. Give them a call at 347-5195, 347-5195, or visit UnitedWayHCSC.org. Take that time. You think about it, you heard what Lynn talked about, those 4 target areas, those impact areas that are critical in nature, these 36 agencies representing those 4 areas. Whether you have growing youth, strong, successful children in the area, or strong and successful families, whether it's promoting self-sufficiency or absolutely focusing on basic needs, safety net, there's critical, those 4 target areas, you can make a difference in the life of someone you know. 347-5195. Give them a call or get out there next Friday at Coastal Federal Field, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. out of the Horry County Shelter Home. Make a difference.